The sky comes falling down for you. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do.
All right, we are live. Good evening, everyone. Turning down the music here. Good evening, good evening. My name is David Harbour. I'm with eXp Realty here in the Washington, D.C. area, and welcome to our live webinar. Yes, we're live right now, so if I mess up, it's live. We can't go back. We do this every couple of months just to kind of update folks on what's going on with eXp. What are some of the newest things that have occurred within the organization? How have we grown? And it seems like every month something new and exciting has taken place here. So this is for real estate agents and brokers across the country. You don't have to be in the Washington, D.C. area, as we are a global real estate organization, rapidly growing. We're almost in 31 states right now, Canada, and we're having discussions all around the world with people that are trying to find out what is an agent-owned cloud brokerage and why are they so unique and different, and why is it growing so rapidly? So what we try to do is, for folks that really haven't heard that much about us, or even if you have, kind of update you on who we are, what's happened lately, and where we're going here in the future. And it's, I tell you what, 2015 has been a really, really exciting year. We've rolled out our direct purchase program for agent ownership and stock. We brought on one of Keller Williams' top recruiters, 4 out of the last 10 years, Gene Frederick, who we're absolutely ecstatic to have. We've got a number of different what are called lead generation programs, calling Make It Rain for our agents. So we're going to touch upon each of those, but it's just been one exciting. We brought on Brad Anderson, formerly of Zillow, to head up our education. He was in charge of their director of global outreach. So it's just been a very exciting year. We're attracting people like that each and every day. So hopefully by the end of this brief webinar, we can't cover everything that's going on, but the idea is to kind of get you interested to take the next step to contact one of us, myself, or anybody else that you've been speaking with, to say, listen, I'd like to find out more about this company. Before we get started here, depending upon where you're watching this, because this is being broadcast in a number of different places, YouTube, Google+, it's actually on a website. If for any reason you have a question that you want to throw out, we're going to actually be on Twitter. So if you're a Twitter follower, we're going to be at hashtag eXp live webinar. You can tweet a question. If you're in the Google+ watching it, I've actually got this open right now. You can actually do it in the chat session if you're watching it on Google+. So if at any time you have a question, please feel free to reach out, okay? So basically what we're going to talk about is, there's a lot of different real estate brokerages across the country. And depending upon what market you're in, you may or may not have heard of eXp Realty. I know that I didn't, and I was in Virginia, and this was 4 years ago. This company is, I tell you what, if you haven't heard of us, you will be hearing about us very shortly, as we're one of the fastest growing real estate brokerages in the country. And the reason is because the nucleus, the concept of it is, we're not a franchise. Our agents are actually the owners of the company. We're a publicly traded company. And so whether you're a broker or an agent, you have direct input and say, and really feel like it's part of your business, EXP, rather than working for a traditional brokerage where you're not sure exactly where the profits are going. So what we're going to do is, I have a PowerPoint presentation that'll touch upon some things. I'll also talk about some of the things that we have initiated here, and also existing programs, like for a cloud-based office who supposedly doesn't have any offices, we actually have thousands of offices. For example, here in the Washington, D.C. area, the agents don't get just one office to go to. They actually have 42 Regus Executive Suite offices to attend. And these are, grade A commercial facilities. All the agents have to do is flash the card. They can go in, meet a client, use their Wi-Fi, drink their coffee, and attend business anywhere that one of these offices is, just by flashing this card. So, just one of the many exciting things here. So without further ado, I'm going to start kind of at the beginning, explain a little bit about eXp, who we are, the nuts and bolts of us. We're a very transparent company, and then make you understand that where you are today could be drastically different if you are in a different, let's say, business environment. Because listen, I've been a real estate agent for 18 years. The basic components of being a successful real estate agent are, I have to have good training. I would match eXp's training any day of the week. We have some of the nation's top real estate trainers. Number two, what is the business model? What is the financial model for you as far as commissions and what you pay out? Very, very important, because there's a lot of hidden costs in traditional brokerages. A lot of people might say, well, I'm at 100%. I pay a small fee. But what you don't realize are all the things that come out of your pocket actually add up to thousands of dollars. A lot of those costs are actually just part of eXp's business package. Then the last one is, what is my exit strategy from real estate? Unfortunately, I have a friend that works for the FBI, and he gets to retire with a nice big pension, until he's well off into the sunset. Us agents, we don't get that luxury. The day we stop selling real estate is pretty much the day you stop making money, unless you partner with a company that actually has the foresight to look into the future and say, how can we help our agents with a real retirement package, in the sense of revenue share. We're going to talk about that, because there are some other companies out there that are profit share, and revenue share is drastically different. You'll see. We've had a number of people from the Keller Williams environment, which is a great company, but when you break down the business model of profit share versus revenue share, you'll see it's a big difference. So without further ado, I'm going to jump into our PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to do a screen share, and then we'll get started. And this is being recorded, so if at any time you want to leave or we have an emergency, no problem. It's here. You can come back and watch it, and you can actually share this at a later point in time with friends in the real estate industry. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to actually share my screen, so if you can give me a second here. I'm going to go off camera, thankfully, and you'll be able to see the presentation. So here you go. You should be able to see it. So give me a second here. Okay. Introductions. I think I said it, but my name is David Harbour. I'm the Virginia State broker here for eXp Realty. This is going on my 4th year. Prior to that, I was 12 years at Remax, great company. I was in the Remax Hall of Fame, and I was grandfathered in at 100%, and I wasn't even thinking about leaving. We'll get to that in a second. Been on HGTV, Discovery Channel. I currently sit on the board of directors for my local association, and had a little sports career that got me started here in Washington. But I say all that not to bang my drum, but I want people that are watching this, agents and brokers across the country, to know I'm one of you. I'm a real estate professional first and foremost, and have been for a long time. And so I've seen a lot of the different real estate brokerages come and go. I was not looking to leave, 4.5 years ago. I was at 100%. I liked Remax. It was a big company, and I thought I had to be there because they were the #1 dog on the block. Well, I quickly realized how wrong I was, but I was actually approached by a Remax broker, Tom Donegan, or not Tom Donegan. Tom Donegan was my former broker. Great guy, probably one of the best brokers I've been with, but Tom Somerville, down in North Carolina, who's a former broker with Remax. He said, I'm leaving. I think you should check out this company called eXp Realty. Well, that was 4 years ago. We were only in 9 states at the time. Best decision I ever made was coming aboard eXp. We've quickly grown to 31 states. We'll probably be in all 50 states within the next 12 to 18 months. And it's been an absolute exciting ride. This is kind of a little bit of the history of what's occurred with this company in a very short amount of time. Our CEO and founder, Glenn Sanford, was a Keller Williams top producer. And there was a point where he kind of looked himself in the mirror and said, how can I make a better real estate brokerage? How can I make it more productive? How can I use today's technology to push this even further than what brokerages are doing? Well, that's when he launched eXp Realty in 2009. Quickly, as you can see, 2011, we were nominated as one of the most innovative brokerages in the country by Inman News. We were featured as one of the premier brokerages as a model of the future for the Swanepoel Trends Report. Glenn, very informal around here, Glenn, our CEO, was named one of the most influential leaders in real estate, and then it just continued to snowball. We became a publicly traded company, so we are held to a higher standard than a lot of other brokerages, and we are agent-owned. A good majority of our agents own stock, own equity in eXp Realty, which makes this company drastically different. And as you can see, even in 2015, Glenn was named to the 200 most powerful people in residential real estate with Swanepoel Power 200, which is very exciting. I'm going to skip through a couple of these. Why is eXp so different? And why is this company so unique? Well, I think a lot of it has to do with technology, but it's also a methodology, and it's also kind of our culture that we use technology to communicate, collaborate, and educate, unlike no other real estate brokerage out there. And the reason is because we started from the ground up utilizing this cloud-based mentality. As you can see here, the evolution of the real estate brokerage. And listen, anything that I say here has nothing to do with the agents. There are good agents in every real estate brokerage. What I'm talking about is the business model. If you take a step back and you get rid of the logos and the colors, what is the financial business model for the agent and the broker? Well, as we know, Century 21 started franchising right around the early 1970s. Dave Liniger took it a step further with 100% commissions, which a lot of agents migrated there, and they wanted to keep more of their money. Then Keller Williams came about in the early 80s, and they said, listen, we want to create some type of retirement benefits, and by creating a profit share where the agents and the brokers share in the profits. Well, what we're going to talk about here is that what we're seeing, and we have a lot of KW folks coming on. Again, they're a great company, but the financial profits model is not quite what they thought it would be. Thus, when you see the next evolution, eXp Realty, which was launched, as we talked about in 2009, more profit, more to share. And so that's kind of where we are. We're early adapters. I know that the first couple of years when I was telling people about eXp, they kind of laughed. Well, the story that I like to tell is that Stefan Swanepoel compares us to Amazon. eXp is a lot like Amazon was. Well, for those of you who don't remember, in the mid 90s, when Amazon launched and said, hey, we're going to sell books online, people kind of laughed at them a little bit. Well, as a Borders bookstore down the street from me closed, I don't think they're laughing anymore. And we've obviously seen how Amazon has turned out. Now, are we going to put all brokerages out of business? No. But I think the way that we're doing business drastically cuts cost and allows us to do things that other brokerages simply cannot do. They can't pay the compensation that we do to our agents and brokers, and they can't provide the tools that we do. So what is a cloud brokerage? Well, a cloud brokerage is basically utilizing cloud mentality to share, to educate, to communicate everything while reducing costs. And so we never, Glenn, when he had this vision for this company, he never wanted to lose the focus of education is the most important thing, communication, especially for newer agents, and training. Okay? Here's a snapshot, and this does not do it justice whatsoever, but this is actually a picture of our cloud office. Now, when you think about what is a cloud office is just like your office, except we do everything in the cloud. So I don't have to drive anywhere for education, communication, for our transactions. It saves us time. Plus, I could be almost anywhere in the world. I was just in Europe and I was able to log into the office without missing meetings and do things just like you would in a traditional office, except we can save a tremendous amount of time and utilize resources across the country, i.e. trainers. If we have an excellent trainer in social media marketing down in Florida, everyone in the company gets to benefit from it. So it's that to me was the biggest hurdle of, well, wait a second, this is your office? I mean, I don't go into the office anymore, which is funny because at Remax, I never went into the office. We had a beautiful office, but I never brought a client there. I never went there other than to turn in paperwork. And according to the National Association of Realtors, most top producers don't work out of the office and they rarely go in there. As far as support, we have everything right there at your fingertips. New agent services, transaction, marketing, business development, mentoring. It's all there right in our cloud environment. Basically, we're set up to start from soup to nuts, from the time that you meet the client to the time that you close on the client to the time that you go in for training. You could be anywhere in the world. You can be sitting by a beach and basically be plugged into the company. I'm going to skip through a couple of these things. Business development is a very important part of eXp's mentality. We want to make sure that agents take ownership of their real estate business and really create a platform for them to excel. We've been very fortunate where we have a number of nationally known trainers, one of them being Pam Ostrowski, who is a certified focal point coach with Brian Tracy. She has helped out hundreds of agents within eXp each and every week. You see, at eXp, we have anywhere between 20 to 30 live classes, not webinars. You don't sit there and just turn on your computer. It's a live class that's interaction back and forth. I can communicate each and every week. Plus, a lot of those are archived, so I can go back and I can watch them again and again. This is powerful, where we actually have live and on-demand training. All right, here's the really big one that we get, profitability. I'm already in 100%. Oh, I'm happy with my 90% or my financial model. Well, what if I told you that at eXp we have a number of agents that are making 100+%? Or we actually have a icon agent program where if you're a top producer, you're making 7 million in listings per year or more, we will actually pay you to be part of eXp with our icon agent program. That's right. So for those of you who have seen this before, this is the Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow quadrant, and most real estate professionals are right there in E. You're an employee. You sell real estate, you sell it, you're giving your portion to the brokerage, and if you stop selling or you get hurt or you're in the hospital, you're done. You don't make any money. S is self-employed. That's where you have a lot of brokerages or boutique brokerages. Uh, they own a little bit of the equity. They may own the company, and at some point they may want to try and sell it. But a lot of people have this misunderstanding that they're going to get millions of dollars, and they for selling it, their business or their book of business or their brokerage, and it just doesn't really work out that way. Very, very, very few people have that opportunity. Then B is the business owner, where you have a system that works for you. Well, there's a lot of companies out there that are doing this, and they're good companies. But the thing that I can say here, and the only way that you'll find out is if you contact one of us so we can show you point blank, is that eXp pays considerably more in that business model. I would say anywhere between 8 to 10 times more, that business model. I is obviously the Warren Buffetts of the world that are making their money grow. The concept of eXp is that everybody that's part of this organization is on the same level. Doesn't matter whether you're an agent, whether you're a team leader or a broker. Everybody has the unique opportunity to introduce people to the company and be compensated every year that person's involved, that they brought to eXp, year in and year out, for as long as that person has their license. And really, this is a groundbreaking concept where of a short period of time, almost 4 or 5 years, we have agents across the country, and I'm no way exaggerating this, I'm probably underselling it, is that we have agents that are probably making $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a month in what is called revenue share, just by introducing people to the company, which is simply mind staggering when you think about it. So whether you're a single agent, excuse me, you're looking to build a team, maybe you're a broker out there, whether you're a broker with a large brokerage that you're working for a franchise, or you've got your own boutique brokerage, eXp has a unique business model where we can plug you in. We can, if you have agents, 10 agents in your brokerage and you want to bring them in, they can be set up where you're the actual team leader or you're in charge of them, and they get to utilize their tools. And by bringing them into eXp's model, you're now allowing them the opportunity to go out and grow their teams without putting that burden on you, the broker, which is absolutely, extremely difficult to do as a single broker. The scalability and expansion of eXp is now allowing teams to grow not only locally, but globally. So if I'm an agent and I know somebody in California and I live in Virginia, I can introduce that individual to the company, and I would continue to get revenue share from that individual when they sell homes. If that individual was to go out and bring 4 or 5 people on to eXp on his team, guess who also gets compensated? You do. It's the highest compensation or revenue share plan in the business. And the exciting thing about it is it goes 7 layers deep. Here's something else that also attracted me to eXp is that we are, as I mentioned, one of the fastest growing brokerages in the country. I think our first 5 years we're growing faster than KW did their first 5 years. We're already in 31 states. I see this as somebody who's very entrepreneurial. Not only can you bring people in the orange states where we are, but the gray states, if you know of somebody, a broker or somebody that can actually launch that state, fantastic. And you look below at the global setting, we will be in other parts of the country or the world, I should say, very, very shortly. I would say, we're already in Canada, and we're having discussions with people in, places like Ecuador and South Africa and India, which is absolutely exciting to be part of a ground level operation. As far as the concept of it, of eXp, we are very much agent-centric philosophy. If you have a particular branding, logo, or style, we want you to use it. And we also have different divisions, which we're starting to expand on. A unique luxury division, commercial, REO for foreclosures and real estate owned properties. And we'll continue to expand on that. As far as the tools, we know that probably 9 out of 10 people go to the internet for real estate needs, whether they're searching on realtors or looking for properties. This is where eXp has really followed in the footsteps of our founder and CEO, Glenn Sanford, as when he was an agent doing, 50 million plus per year in his business, he would utilize generating leads off of the internet because that's where most buyers and sellers are going. Well, we actually have that same mentality for each of our agents. So where we train them how to use tools like conversion, website, which for those of you who aren't familiar with it, Market Leader or Boomtown. This is a high-powered Ferrari lead generation website that is a CRM system, an IDX, excuse me, need a glass of water. And it has an extensive follow-up drip campaign. This would cost you hundreds of dollars to start up and to maintain each and every month. Well, at eXp, it's just part of being part of eXp. For a very low fee, monthly fee, you get to utilize this and a number of other tools to help you with your business. I can tell you right now that we have a number of agents across the country that are generating hundreds of leads utilizing the conversion website, which is really, really exciting for their business. I'm going to skip through some of this. For those of you who like to cut to the chase, here are the startup costs. And the beauty of it is we're not a franchise, so you're not going to see any big franchise fee on here. It's very, very simple. You come on board eXp day one, there's a $99 startup fee. That'll get you some business cards and folders. Every month, the only fee that you pay is $50. With that $50, you'll get 3 websites, you'll get a CRM system, an IDX, a mobile app, a fax line, an 800 line, and all of your Google professional apps. That's a bargain. Upon your first sale, there's a one-time annual $420 university tuition. That's for all of the classes. And I tell you what, one of those classes will help you generate, I'll guarantee you, at least a sale or 2 per year, which would more than pay for it. As I mentioned, we have 20 to 30 live classes every week. There's a $16,000 a year cap, and it's an 80-20 split from the day that you start. Doesn't matter whether you're a brand new agent or you're a top producer. You will quickly go to 100% for the remainder of that year, okay? Now, per transaction, the only thing that you pay is a $25 broker review fee and an E&O insurance, depending upon what state you're in, $30 to $40, and that's capped. Once you've capped, you've gone to 100%, $250 transaction fee, $25 broker fee, and your E&O insurance. So if you didn't sell something for 3 months, the only fee that you would have is $50 a month. Now, we try to get our agents going up as soon as possible, but we know that, monthly payments and overhead are very, very important to agents. Now, me coming from a 100% environment, I'd say, well, wait a second, 80/20, I was at 100%. Well, I can also say that I had a monthly fee of almost $1,100, $1,200 a month. And on top of that, I had to pay for my own website, hosting, email, fax line, email system, all these different things. And that would be in the thousands of dollars. So just for me, coming from a 100% environment where I was and to eXp's model, I already would be making thousands of dollars more in eXp if I took my exact same business model. But this is where it gets exciting, is that eXp allows you the ability to actually generate revenue on other aspects of business, one being revenue share. Now, what does that mean? It means if I introduce somebody to my company, eXp Realty, instead of where I was before, I would get paid anything, maybe a ham sandwich or a free months of brokerage fees. Here, I actually get paid based on the gross commission that that individual brings in. And it's very simple, 3.5% gross commission for every sale that that individual sells until they cap. Now, what this means is I could bring in 20 people and get paid 3.5% gross commission. But this is the beauty of this model, is that if the individual that I brought in brings somebody in, I get paid, and as well as that person. If the person underneath them brings somebody on, everybody gets compensated. So it really, really lends itself to me helping out the people underneath me bring people on. Now, the thing that I can say here is we can spend all night by plugging in numbers. If you're watching this, call somebody at eXp, send me a text, say, listen, I want to do an apples to apples comparison of what my current brokerage offers me as opposed to what you guys could provide as far as eXp's business model. This was a game changer for me because I have two young boys and I started thinking about my future. And with my previous brokerage, when I stopped selling, that's it. There's no revenue coming in. But with eXp, you could actually generate revenue well into your retirement after selling real estate, and it will continue to come in as a result of your efforts of building your team, which is, as I once again mentioned, it's the highest in the business, not even close. Now, a lot of people say, I'll just throw it out there. It sounds like multi-level marketing. It sounds like Amway. You know what? It is nothing like that. It's very, very simple. And this is a breakdown. This is not to knock KW or every brokerage is like this. It's very simple. Brokerages cost money. And that's when you break it down, it's the lease, the mortgage, the utilities, franchise fee, insurance, capital expenditure, staffing, signage, all that adds up. And what happens is that's a cost. And then you have the brokerage that actually takes their percentage or fee on top of it. Okay. And then if there's a franchise fee, eXp, we don't have that, or we have a fraction of that. And so our compensation model is such that we give a lot back to the agents. And that's where that revenue share model comes in. Instead of us spending it on all this stuff that we don't need and don't necessarily use as agents, we actually give it back to our agents in compensation. Now, for those of you who might be doubters of this model, here's an example. We have a broker down in Georgia, and this is an actual live printout of one of his profit share checks for the month of December. And this individual had 177 people in his downline. This was a December 2014 payout. And as you can see right there, his payout of profit share on 177 people for December was $1,040. Okay. $1,040. What he did is he took that exact same model, all those people, 177 agents with their same production, and he put it into eXp's model. And his revenue share, which is very different as you'll see, came to, drum roll please, 15,454. That's almost 1,400% more money than what he was making at his previous brokerage. That's a big difference. That's a huge difference. That's probably one of the reasons why we just brought on one of KW's #1 recruiters 4 out of the last 10 years, Gene Frederick, who just came on this spring, left that organization. Again, a great organization, but I think he saw the value of eXp's business model for its agents and brokers. I don't want to bore everybody here with pie in the sky stories, but there's a revenue share calculator here to actually calculate if you brought on a couple of people and what their volume was, what you would actually make. And I can tell you, I have some agents who quickly, after a short amount of time being with the organization, were making $1,000, $2,000 just from introducing people to eXp. And it's been quite a blessing. Well, if things weren't already good with eXp's business model, our CEO and founder, Glenn, said, listen, I want to take it to a whole nother level. I want agents really feeling like this is their company. No, I don't want it to be a franchise. I don't want to be me at the top and raking in all the profits. So that's when he declared that he wanted to make eXp an agent-owned brokerage. What that means is the agents have the ability to earn stock in their own company. And right now we have a wonderful offering that if you sell something, you get 100 shares. If you actually cap in the year 2015, you'll receive 1,000 shares. And if you bring somebody on and they sell something, you have 1,000 shares. Now, we're a publicly traded company. I would say that we're not trading at Apple stock yet, but I can tell you that during the short period of time, the stock has gone up significantly. And I know that, back to that comparison of when Amazon was being used as a company that we're a lot alike, that a lot of people laughed when Amazon came out and their stock, I don't know, maybe was at $19 a share. Well, it's well over $400 a share now. This is just another revenue opportunity for the agent that I know that I would say 99% of most brokerages out there don't offer. So there's 3 opportunities here for an agent to really create a nest egg for their retirement. One is the great compensation and commission structure. Number 2 is building a team or introducing people to the company with the highest revenue share plan in the business. And 3 is actually owning stock in the company that you work with. And, we rolled out a program here a couple months back called the Direct Purchase Program, where our agents can actually take a portion of their commission, purchase stock at a discount, and put it towards their nest egg for retirement. Now, this is really out of the box thinking here. I've got a couple of other things before we close out here. I try not to make these too long. It's really about just kind of wetting your whistle about eXp and getting you to think, you know what, I should reach out to somebody and learn more about this company, because I do have a lot to lose. As I said before, I was not even looking to leave where I was. I was perfectly content. And you may be in that same situation right now. I don't have any reason to leave. I love my broker. I love my office. That's great. But at the end of the day, the business model, what pays you and your family, is also very, very important. And listen, we have great people. We have a great environment. We have a lot of fun. We have our next convention in Las Vegas in October. And I tell you what, there's some incredible people that are coming to this brokerage across the country. It's really attracting some real leaders here. So if you're watching this, doesn't matter whether you're in Virginia or California or wherever you are, you can go to va.exprealty.careers and fill in the information. You can give me a shout. I'm going to turn this off for right now. Hold on. I'm going to take the screen share off. Give me a second. Okay. All right. And so as we're kind of wrapping up here, there's a couple of things also that I wanted to touch upon. Is we talked about stock. I mean, what company actually offers stock to their real estate agents just for selling something or introducing people to the company? Really, really groundbreaking. The other question that I get, and this is one of the questions that came on the Twitter feed, is if you're a cloud office and utilize a virtual office for meetings and collaboration, what about actual physical meeting places? Glad you asked that. Every agent within eXp gets what is called a Regis card. So a Regis card, if you're not familiar with Regis offices, are grade A office facilities that I can go in, and for me, in the Washington metro area, there's 42 of them. So my agents don't get just one office that they get to go to. They can go into any one of the offices just by clicking on their mobile app and saying, oh, there's one right here in DC, there's one in Reston, there's one, and flash the card, and they can go in, work, use their Wi-Fi, spend all day, whatever they need to do, meet clients, and that's just part of that $50 a month tech fee, which is super exciting. And then the other aspect, which I really didn't touch upon that much, is that we understand that leads are very, very important. And not just leads, but good leads. Whether you're a new agent or you have a team that you're feeding leads to, your agents on your team. And that's why we have actually adapted to using conversion lead generation websites for every one of the agents. And as I explained before, it would cost you hundreds of dollars to set up and hundreds to maintain each and every month. Agents at eXp get that for that small $50 a month fee. And we have agents that are generating leads, some 50, 100, hundreds sometimes per month. And they're real leads. I know one of our agents just wrote a deal on an $825,000 house based on a conversion lead. So training, compensation, business model, lead generation, and that ability to create a real nest egg for your exit strategy in real estate. So anyways, I don't want to go on, but I'm going to leave you with a couple of calls to action. If you're in the Washington metro area, text me, call me, send me an email. We'll meet for coffee, and we can talk about what eXp has to offer. No strings attached. You can come in and actually watch one of our leadership meetings every Friday at 11 o'clock East Coast time, or come in and actually see what this whole cloud-based office is all about. We'll send you a free invite, no strings attached. We'll do an apples to apples comparison of your existing brokerage to eXp and find out what you're missing. And then I will actually show you in detail all these wonderful lead generation tools that we provide our agents across the country. So there you go. We're wrapping up here. I hope this was informative. We've got a lot of wonderful things going on. We new people that we're attracting each and every day. And I tell you what, I tell everybody that the Kool-Aid tastes pretty good here at eXp because it is going down smooth. It's a great, great organization. And I'm so privileged and honored to be part of the ground floor. When I say ground floor, we're 5 years old and growing quickly, but we will be into the thousands of agents, I would say, very, very shortly. And it's exciting to be part of something that's so groundbreaking. So I'm going to end tonight's telecast with, if you want to find out more about eXp, go to va.exprealty.careers, or you can join at join.exprealty.com. And that's all we have for right now. We've got a number of events going around the country. We've got our conference out in Las Vegas, October 7th through the 9th. You'll probably see us at one of the national shows at the National Association of Realtors, either annual or mid-year show. Come up, say hi, ask us a few questions. We'd love to meet you. You have a great night. We'll see you in the cloud.